Okay, I'm very, very open, but yes, I just got done teaching an insanity class. It was from 6:30 to 7:30. I was like, oh, let's take a picture. I love you guys so much. And I got to go. So I left. So I'm like sitting here drenched in sweat. I was like, I need to make a Shakeology really, really quickly. Came home. I have not showered at all today. And this is my second workout. So this is my life. I have 3 kids and I am a coach. I'm an inspirer and I just love what I do. So the reason that you guys are here is someone brought you, felt powerful enough that this is something that can change your life. And so I want to talk to you guys about a little bit about my story, about where I've come from, what I've done, and how I run my team. Now, as far as your coach, feel free to speak with them. You know, eventually they will be running their own teams and you'll still be a part of our team as well too. This is one big family, but I'll explain how I run mine. It's pretty much like a buffet table, okay? You guys take what you want and leave what you don't. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. No judgment. We're all here to really just better our lives and help other people better theirs. So I'm going to share my screen here and we will get going. Yay. As soon as I figure out how to do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yep. Okay. Here we go. All right. So first off, so about me. I am a 2-star diamond coach. That might not mean anything to you, but I am a leader of this business and I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children. I have an 11-year-old, 8-year-old, and soon to be 5. They're completely all full of different personalities. Love them to death. Before I started as a coach, when I started my journey, I was 238 pounds, and that was in March of 2011. What really drove me pretty much to start my stuff was having back surgery. So in January of 2010, I had half my L5 disc removed. It was something that pushed me over the edge. I was done over it. High school, I mean, if you bring back to high school before I became pregnant at 17, I was probably in the 140s, 145. So, you know, I was considered normal. I had curves and everything, and kids just kind of brought me to the point of, yep, added on the weight. And we say, you know, dang kids, right? They mess up our bodies. Well, so I had back surgery in January of 2010, and that's kind of what set my life in a different aspect. As soon as I was okay to go, like the doctors are like, hey, all right, you can go, you can work out. Because they said, by losing some weight, that will probably help your back. So don't gain any weight right now and don't get pregnant. Okay, 2 months later, I was pregnant with my 3rd child after the back surgery. And it was just a complete scare, but thank the Lord that everything went fine. Everything went great. And then as soon as I was ready to go, I started hip hop abs. I had hip hop abs from 2008. And I'm like, man, why didn't a coach contact me then? I probably would have stayed consistent. I probably would have kept going in my journey. I might have even been one of the founding coaches of this, but you know, everything happens for a reason, right? So the biggest thing though for this was I wanted to be healthy for my kids. My 3rd child led into a C-section that everything went very smoothly until it all turned badly. And pretty much at the end, I had to get put to sleep for my C-section. And the last thing that I thought was, I don't know if it was just being overwhelmed and everything that was going on and the medicine to put me to sleep. I thought I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dying. I thought I was never going to see my kids again. I'd never see this newborn baby be born and I would never be with my kids again. And it was the moment that I'm like, all right, I know that from this back surgery and from here, this is something that was placed on my heart to change my life because they need me. My kids need me. So I wanted to model that healthy lifestyle for them. So when I first started, and if you guys were all on our journey every single day, I had to put that on a scale. I had to put them on the scale of, all right, you know, I'm either going to eat a piece of pizza because it's more important than what? My kids? And I kind of looked at that every single day. Like when I wanted a craving, I'm like, okay, well, I can eat this cupcake, or I can do this, or I can completely just not work out. But then what is that showing me? My kids are more important. They deserve their mom to be able to keep up with them. And I should be able to reverse, change one addiction for the next. I love to dance. So Size that just came out is I'm telling you right now, this was set up for me. It had to have been made for me. I believe that with all my heart. I always thought about when Hip Hop Abs came, I was like, it's awesome. It's dancey, but it'd be awesome if there was something where you were actually doing dance routines. And then workout has become a passion and helping others. So you can see my before and afters from March of 2011 until March of 2015. And then my wonderful kids were very, we're all over the place. We love being complete dorks. That's just us. So this kind of goes into a little bit about where I started. So I started Insanity in 2011, I kind of was messing around with the Hip Hop Abs. My sister's like, hey, you got to try Insanity. And I'm like, I like Hip Hop Abs. I love Shanti. And she's like, no, it is Shanti. I'm like, really? I'm like, he's got another program. So I ended up checking it out. Like I looked it up on YouTube and I was like, holy crap, that is not the Shanti I know. Like he was this fun-loving, like hip-hop dancing, and all of a sudden he was like drill sergeant. And I'm like, all right. Well, the fit test, let's say I landed on the floor trying to do push-up jacks, and I had a big 0 on my fit test. And it was a lot of fun. Shanti probably did not want to hear what I had to say because he probably would have hated me if he heard everything I told him on the screen. So I cried. I couldn't walk. I was so sore. And I really, really, really did not like having dates with him every single morning, but I showed up. I became a coach very shortly into my journey. I had a girl come to me and she's like, hey, I saw that you're doing Insanity and everything. And I actually had 2 girls and they're like, do you want to join my motivation group? And I'm like, sure. Do you have a coach? I'm like, what's a coach? She's like, do you have a free membership? I'm like, yep. Well, has a coach contacted you? Nope. She's like, okay, well, I can get you switched over to me if you want. So these 2 coaches, I looked at their pages. One was married, had 3 kids. The other one was just married, and that was that. She didn't have any kids. She had a dog. So you think that I would be like, okay, I know exactly who I want to go with. But something in my heart was like, all right, look at their pages. And I looked at their page, and the one that had no kids was so inspirational, like the motivation post that she put, and she just felt very genuine. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to join her. So I joined her, and I'm forever blessed for my coach bringing me onto this. I was over 200 pounds when I started coaching. So a lot of questions that people have, they're like, all right, I'm nowhere near my goal. How can I coach? Because as a coach, we're not someone who needs to know it all. We're not experts. We don't need to be experts. We have our trainers who are complete experts for us. And what we do is generally want to help people. And we have to be that motivation, because a support is one thing that if you don't have support, it's very hard to succeed. And that's what we are for people. We're the ones that are telling them, you can do this. Because when you have one person that believes in you, just one person telling you, no, you can do this, when you feel like giving up, that belief sticks with you. So anyways, squirrel moment, backtrack to it. So I became a Beachbody coach May of 2011, and I just started going for it. I'm like, all right, let's get people in here. Like, this is awesome. I was completely motivated by something that's called our Success Club trip, and I wanted to go to Atlantis. So I just figured out what I needed to do. We had like no training hardly whatsoever. I read this awesome 54 PDF file and had no clue what I was doing. I was just like, all right, let's help people. I learned faster, and it was something that I grew from. Okay. So during this whole journey, like, this is going to talk a little bit, and I'll go fastly through this as well too, so we can leave it open to questions and talking more about what it is that we do as a coach. But so October of 2011, we purchased a home, and April of 2012, I became a $1,000 monthly winner, entering my results into the Beachbody Challenge. And I was up for a quarterly bonus. As long as you're a monthly winner, you are in this wonderful contest of becoming a quarterly winner of $5,000. And it was based on votes. Well, I was blessed enough to have the highest amount of votes for the females. So I got $5,000 plus a trip to LA. And I got to go to Beachbody headquarters and, speak to them a little bit on my journey. And it was kind of just an amazing experience. So roll around a little bit further, we go to our summit, which is a life-changing experience for Beachbody coaches. There's no other way to describe what happens there other than you just have to go. So I went to summit and they're like, hey, you're up for this award. So you get a reserved spot. I'm like, sweet, cool, awesome. So they didn't say, hey, you want an award. Nope, you're up for this award. So I go there, sit down. I'm not a girly girl. I do not I love dresses, just not on me. I think they're beautiful and I'm passionate about them. I don't like wearing them. I like tennis shoes. I like yoga pants. I am good. I am okay. You talk to me about fashion. I'm the first one that I'm like, we're going on this Beachbody summit and I need sundresses. Like, what do I look for in sundresses? That's me. So I'm sitting there and they're like, oh, this girl had an amazing transformation. And they started talking about the story without saying the name. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. I'm going to have to go up on stage. Oh my goodness. They're going to call me up. Sean T and Shalene are going to call me up and I'm going to have to speak in front of 2,000 people. What am I going to do? Just don't fall on my face. I have heels on. Don't fall on my face. So they called me up. There's 3 steps. Don't worry, I didn't fall. I probably should have, but I didn't. So I get up there and I speak, and it was just like, I don't even know what to say about this experience. So I was awarded with the Body Transformation Award, and I have this huge plaque. I actually have it still here. So here's my awesome huge plaque with my name on it. And it's like a Grammy. It was something that was so unique and so special that was great. So next. So after that happened, I was like, things are going amazing. This is going awesome. This is going fantastic. And then when things are going absolutely 100% amazing, what usually happens? You fall down a lot. Things start coming up. And I had an injury from May to September. I kept pushing through an injury because I was like, no, I got to keep showing people I'm working out. They're going to get unmotivated. And I don't want to stop my workouts because I don't want to go back to that person. And I pushed through and then finally came down to hey, you got to stop. So I ended up doing the Ultimate Reset at that time and Tai Chi. And it really, I was actually very, very blessed to do that because I ate foods that I never thought I would eat before and I liked them. So it was an opening experience for me and great to talk about. So January of 2013, I had a 6-year breakup and I was like, okay, what do I do? Here we go. 3 kids, breakup. I don't even know what to do. So I stayed at the house. We agreed that I would stay there till I could find a place. I was working on building up this business and this organization that I had on my own, but I guess I never really pushed as hard as I could have or found people to join, or I found people, it wasn't something that I needed to push really hard on, right? Because I had this other income with me. So he built up his income while I stayed home with the kids, took care of them, was a full-time mom, and built this, just, let it kind of stay steady. Well, I actually got to go to my first Success Club trip, took the kids to Disney. It was me and my sister and 2 kids. And it was a blessing because for all of us that know, living paycheck to paycheck, that's kind of how I was. And especially with that breakup, this was all on my own. And I was like, I never would have been able to provide this for my kids. Never, ever. So that's them down there. Me and my 2 kids got to go to Disney. We got to experience everything. And they're like, Mom, when are we going to go again? When are we going to go? And I was like, we'll go soon, I kept telling them that throughout the years. It was something, like I said, I got to go there for free. They paid for my trip. They gave me money to go to the parks. The hotel was paid for. You pretty much paid for your way down and then whatever you wanted to have for food. And it was something that my kids will never forget, and neither will I. Got to work out with the trainers, be around amazing, positive people. So June of 2013, I ended up going to Coach Summit again. It was my second Coach Summit. And then after June, so when June came and I came back, I think I might have got these dates a little switched around, but work with me here. After that second summit that I went to, I came back home and it was like, all right, you need to move out. And I'm like, where am I supposed to go? Like, I don't have a place to go. I put myself on the housing list, never got called for it. I was on it for 6-7 months waiting because I'm like, there's no way that I can afford doing what I'm doing, building this business, because I never really tried. Or I mean, it's not that I didn't try, I just kind of stayed steady. So I had nowhere to go, really nowhere to go. I had to call my dad. I took my 2 oldest, and we went to my dad's house. And my youngest, I left him with his dad so that I wasn't taking away his bed. He had a place to stay. Like, you know, you're putting 2 kids in your parents' house and your younger brother, and that's total chaos and craziness. I didn't want to bring him in that. And I was someone who raised my youngest son from the time that he was born until, 2.5, 3 years. And then it went to doing that where I didn't get to see him for a full month because I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I didn't want my parents to get stressed. I felt horrible, but yet I wanted to see him and I didn't know where to go. So it was very emotional for me, an emotional time. And after that, my stepmom came to me and she's like, she had a moment and she pretty much kicked me out. Don't worry, I love her to death. We're still, all is good. Everything's happened for a reason. It's really, I believe it was God's plan to push me to do what I needed to do and step up. So getting kicked out, I'm like, okay, well, where do I go? My mom lives with my grandma. I ended up going to my sister's, and I was scared to death to go there because she had cats, deathly allergic to cats. But went in, moved in with her, and had no problems. So I don't know why. I honestly have no clue, but maybe it was, I don't know, right? I have no way to explain it other than I was okay to go there. And I stayed there for a while, but I kind of didn't like how some things were going down there. And I didn't want my kids to be around this. So we were gone. I was pretty much living out of my car. I took my kids to school. I was teaching classes, fitness classes 4 times a week. So, I mean, I was pretty much gone from the morning. I was there actually for a while until I was like, okay, this isn't good. I'm getting like cold shoulders. I'm kind of getting some attitude. And that's when I would be gone from 7 in the morning. I'd drop them off. I would go to the place that I taught fitness classes. I would do all my work from there until I had to pick up my kids. I'd pick up my kids. I would drop them off where they needed to go. I would come back and I would teach class. I would leave, go pick them up, and come back home. So I was gone from like 7 in the morning till 7 at night. And food was, in the car here and there. Clothes were all in the car. I mean, it was just, 2014 was a crap hole. We're going to call it that. And a very, very emotional time. And so then after that, my stepmom was like, hey, you can come back, I'm sorry, you don't need to put yourself through that and everything. So I came back and I was there for a while. And then surely enough, not long later, a few months later, she's like, you're ruining our marriage. And I was like, okay, I don't know how or why, or I didn't argue. I just was like, all right. So that next morning, my dad came down and he's like, what did she say to you? I'm like, it's fine. Like, don't worry. I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to go. He's like, where are you going to go? I'm like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. And he is not an emotional person. And I'm going to try to keep it in, but it makes me emotional. So he's not emotional at all. And he just bawled. And he's like, whatever you do, don't give up on your dreams. Sorry. And that was the one thing from him that I needed. Like, out of everyone, my dad was never an emotional person, never like really said, I love you. And he was the one person out of my whole family, because everyone's like, this is a scam, I mean, you're doing, like, this isn't going to work for you. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what you work so, no, this isn't going to happen. And he said, Ashton, he's like, you know what? It takes time to build up a business. He's like, don't give up on your dreams. And I was like, that was the confirmation that I needed. And I was like, it's okay. I was like, I'm strong. I'm your daughter. I was like, I won't give up on my dreams. So my friend was like, all right. She's like, Ashton, come here. So I ended up moving in with her. I brought my two oldest kids, and, it was tight again. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. So me and my 2 kids were in one room. She was in the other room, and she pretty much said, she's like, hey, she's like, I'm working on getting a job out of town. I really want to move. And I'm like, okay. She's like, so maybe you could just end up taking over the lease. I'm like, sure. I was still on housing, trying to build this business up and take care of the kids. And we kind of got on a system with my youngest son, but I didn't see him as much as I wanted to. And so she was actually blessed with a job faster than what we thought. So I was like, awesome. So she's like, all right, well, I'm still going to pay half the rent. You're going to, you'll pay half the rent and stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working up there during the week, and then I'm going to come back on the weekend. I'm like, okay, sweet. Well, then it got too much for her, and completely understand. Like, we didn't want to screw each other over, but it was like we were both in spots where we're like, what are we going to do? She couldn't pay for 2 places because she was first at a place where she didn't have to pay. She was in with one of her friends and stuff. And then me, I'm like, I can't pay full price. Like, I just can't. Like, I don't know what to do. And this is more when I started pulling more into my faith and believing that God was going to provide for me. That's what I was told. I went to church and I was told God will provide. Just do what you're doing. And I worked my butt off. And I believe that he provided. So for a full year, I was sitting there paying full price for an apartment. Never ever imagined in my life that I could do that. And I did. And I kept going. So during that time, so that was the beginning of 2014. So some of these are kind of messed up on the slide here. That's all right? 2014, paid for the full price and everything. I had ended up getting a staph infection in September that went horrible. There was a lot of personal issues during 2014. And something that, this will come out eventually later, but we'll just keep you rolled in to be like, all right, what does she want to talk about? Well, guess you're going to have to find out, huh? So December 2014, I'm like, all right, I need to do something. I was like, I'm going to go all in for 2015. That was my goal. I said, I'm going to go all in. I'm like, I'm sick of, just being here and just feeling like, my whole life I felt like nothing mattered. I was a kid that got kicked out of a high school and then got sent to an alternative high school and got kicked out of another high school. Like, I was the misfit. Like, I never thought in my life that I would do anything that would add value to people, that would show them that life and belief and a whole nother aspect is actually possible. I didn't believe, there was nothing there. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to sign up for school. So here I am, signed up for school, ready to go all in with my business and really get to know my coaches and figure out their goals and reach out to as many people that are placed in my heart to show them that this is a gift. And 2014, I enrolled with 3 classes, taking care of my kids, running everything in my home on my own, and working this business. And I can tell you since 2015, that first semester I had a 3.89 for 3 classes while doing all that. I had people that come up to me that are higher up in our organization, and they're like, how did you do it? I'm like, I can't tell you. I still don't even know to this day. I'm like, the only way that I will tell you that I did this was because of my Heavenly Father. That's it. I'm like, there's nothing that could, I just woke up every single day. I prayed that he would provide me people that needed my help, that needed to be put in my life. And I prayed for my coaches. I'm like, tell my coaches it's okay that they can come to me, because I'll have my coaches, they'll be like, I don't want to bug you. And I'm like, dude, I'm like your family member. No, you're not bugging me. And if you're not bugging me, then I'm not getting my job done. I'm like, this is my life. Please bug me. Please do it. I'm like, if this is important to you, bug me. So, we went, well, actually there was, like I said, I've been on 3 Success Club trips. I kind of missed that Beachbody cruise there, but, so then, like I said, 2015, I went all in, I did that. I took my dad with me to a Cancun trip, and it was just an amazing experience for him. And he ended up signing as a coach, and it was just a blessing, because I was like, my dad is the most stubborn person ever. I'm like, and he's like, well, I really want to try Shakeology, because he's on blood thinner medicines. He had 2 stents that were put in his heart. His left ventricle artery was clogged 99%. So he was like, if I can get off medication, he's like, I want to do that. He's like, so I would love to start taking this and then see where my levels are and see what my doctors say. Because if this works, if this helps, I'm going to tell people. And I was like, well, you might as well sign up as a coach. And everyone in Cancun too, where they're like, there's no point in just getting the Shakeology. You might as well sign up as a coach, because you get it for a cheaper price. So he's like, okay. So my dad signed up as a coach and just drinks Shakeology. And he's like, now this performance line came out, and he's like, well, what do you got for this? And what do you got for that? And I was like, oh my goodness. And when he first signed up too, he was like, so what's all this online office stuff and training? Do I need to go through it? I'm like, well, if you want to run the business, you can. Well, not right now, but maybe I will in the future. And he built a relationship with so many coaches down there, and they're all like, how's your dad? And then he's like, how's the girls? They're like, you got to get on Facebook, Bob. You got to get on Facebook. He's like, no. I'm like, you are going to have Facebook before the end of 2015. I just know it. I know it. So, 2015, I grew this business. I'm going to tell you right now, when I first started, I told you, right? I built up pretty quickly. I was motivated by the Success Club trip, and then I stopped. I kind of stopped growing. Like, well, I don't want to say I stopped growing. I stayed steady, and I was making a decent amount of money, bringing in coaches here and there, but something held me back, and I was afraid to offer the opportunity to people, and because I'm like, all right, this is just for me. This is for my rank. And it wasn't until someone was like, Ashton, you want to help people, right? Like, you really genuinely care about people. I know that you do. I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, I've never done this for money, and I never, ever, ever will. This is about a bigger and higher power than I can even imagine. And they're like, okay, you're one person. How many people can you truly reach out to and focus on and help? I'm like, well, they're like, okay, imagine that you bring on a coach who has a friend, even if it's just one, has a friend that's diabetic, and they're in a downward spiral or whatever it may be. What if they have 5 people that come to them because they started seeing their transformation, or they started hearing about what they're doing and they start changing their lives? I'm like, well, that'd be great. And I kind of wasn't putting the picture together, and they're like, so without you adding that coach, would those 5 people have been helped? And I'm like, maybe. Like, they're like, come on, seriously. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm like, I get it. I understand. Like, okay. So we bring on coaches because we're only one person, and this is about really ending the trend of obesity. That's really what our mission is here, is to end the trend. And then another reason why we bring on coaches is because I know where I've been at in my life. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I know what it's like to be on assistance. I know what it's like to want to be at home with my kids. Like, I didn't want to go back to some place that was going to tell me what I needed to do. I don't listen to directions. I really don't. You tell me what to do, I do the opposite. That's just who I am. So I didn't want to do that. And like I said, 2015, here it came. I went all in. I stayed focused and I said, I am all in. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And I've been more in tune with my faith. My business has doubled. My paychecks have went from staying consistent and going back and forth, up and down over the last, from 2013 to 2014 to hitting 2015 and doubling. And it's not stopping. Why? Because this is a gift. This is something that is changing people's lives. And it's not just physically, and it's not just financially. And that, you'll understand more, but I don't want to get too far into that. But so you're here because this is offered as a gift. There's some reason that you were brought here. There's some reason that the person that brought you here said, hey, this is going to be a gift for your life. I know that it's going to change your life. There's going to be something, no matter what it is, even if it's just one thing. Maybe this is a gateway for you. Maybe this isn't exactly what you're going to do for the rest of your life, but maybe this is something that's a gateway to not only help in your life, but to also inspire others around you. So this kind of shows a little bit about, we're going to get into the whole business side of it, or how it's grown. I honestly have no notes with me. I did, but Ashton Meyer did not remember that I had notes. So we are going to run this and go. But this pretty much shows the timeline of Carl Deichler, and John Condon opening up this Beachbody. It was in 1998. And they started with, products, launching them. And I mean, the biggest hit honestly came up with Power 90. And you'll hear Carl Deichler, he's very passionate about what he does. And the one thing that he brought up was, he was like, oh my gosh, I was so broke, we had this crazy passion that we wanted to do fitness, and people thought we were crazy because, who wants to really do at-home fitness, and what isn't there that, what can we really have to offer? And he's like, I was so broke that we didn't have a cameraman. I was the cameraman. We were walking up and these people are going, we're talking about having great thighs. They had the thin thighs. And he's sitting there, he's like, I was going like this, and I was waiting for them to walk by, and we were following them. And it just grew into something different. Power 90 was probably that first big hit in Slim and Six. So here they come out, 2000, 2003, P90X, 2005, Yoga Booty Ballet. There's Turbo Jam. Then the coaching actually launched. He's like, so, he brought the coaching onto this because he's like, what? He's like, we have these great success stories and everything that are coming in. People are inspired by what they're doing. Why don't we bring this as a coaching thing? People, it was insane. He's like, I don't know how this is going to work, but this is going to work. So now you start to see where it led from that to going to Insanity, Shakeology, TurboFire, P90X2, Insanity Asylum, Body Beast, Ultimate Reset. Here we have more Shakeologies at launch because we only had chocolate and greenberry, chocolate vegan, tropical vegan strawberry, Les Mills Combat, Tai Chang, T25, and finally vanilla. And I want to stop here at vanilla for 1 second here. Beachbody is all about doing this the natural way, about really focusing on what it's about, and that's working your butt off, exercising, eating properly, and having that support. It took them, do you see that, from 2009 until 2013 to get a vanilla. And you see shakes all the time that have a chocolate and vanilla, right? Why did it take them that long? Because vanilla is potent, and anything that is vanilla is usually unhealthy. Because in order to make it where it tastes great, it's usually not healthy. So they went around the world to find a vanilla bean plant that they could put into this shake, put in Shakeology, that wasn't going to compromise their ingredients, but it had to taste good, right? So it took them 4 years Actually, I think it was 3 because I think they started trying to come up with it in 2010. But it took them 3 years to formulate this because they weren't going to put out a product that has crap and all this junk loaded in it, but they weren't going to put out a product that tastes like crap either. So next comes P90X3, 21-day fixed, strawberry, Pio, P90, 3-day refresh. And we don't even have the stuff that has already come out and the stuff that's going to be coming out. So they are expanding. This is not a business that you're going to see that's going to drop off the market. They're very, very clear on this, that this is something that's going to continue to grow. So you see the revenue. I don't even need to explain this to you. How it went from 2007 all the way to 2014, I actually think that they hit over 1 million. I'm not 100% correct. However, I would have to look at it. But you just see the expansion of the revenue growth of where this is going. Take a look at the coaches. We are over 300,000 coaches right now. What does that mean? That just means that the world is going to continue to get healthy, going to continue to get fit. But the funny thing is that our obesity rates have not dropped down. And there's more people that are going to need to be inspired. And there's an abundance of people out there. Really, truly, honestly. Like, you have to think that this isn't something that's going to just go away. And this isn't something that is going to be fixed overnight. This isn't something that, it's going to continue to grow, but it's about us reaching out to people. And you have to think, right? Even myself, I have to continuously work on my body. This is a lifestyle change. This isn't I've been drinking Shakeology for 4 years. I haven't quit Shakeology. I love it. I haven't quit working out. I loved it till this year and bring on classes. And thank you for size. But I did it anyways because it was something that I needed to do for my body. All right. So what makes Team Beachbody unique? That's where I brought this up, right? The fitness. So you have other companies, other products. One thing that I recommend, I hate when people knock products. Don't knock the products. Don't knock other products. That shows nothing. You show them what we have to offer. No one out there has a fitness aspect like we do. No one out there has a shake that is formulated like Shakeology. As far as coaches, I think that we were really brought up with integrity and what this whole mission is about. And it's really about people. And it's not about a revenue. It's not about building a business. It's about focusing on how we can really inspire and grow the world to where we need to be. Because honestly, society, we're a little screwed up. Just going to say it, put it out there. And then we also have rewards. We have the Beachbody Challenge where they give away $500 daily. They give away $1,000 a month to 8 people. They give away $5,000 to two quarterlies every single quarter. And then we give away our grand prize, which we just gave it away at Summit. We do it every year. A female and a male walked away with $100,000. And then the other 6 people walked away with $25,000 for getting fit and healthy and changing their life into something positive. That's amazing. Shakeology. All right. So I won't hit too hard on this, but I do want to talk a little bit about Shakeology. So how does Shakeology work? Like, this is our cornerstone of the whole Beachbody. And the nutrition aspect of it is insane. Like, they really formulated this and they continue to reformulate it. And the way that it works, the way that it's composed with the right amount of carb to protein ratio. So people are feeling full. It has no artificial sweeteners in it, no artificial flavors, no additives, no fillers in it. It's just, you want to research the ingredients, research them, and you'll be like, oh, wow. So most time we get the money objection with Shakeology, right? It's $120 for people, $129. And they're like, that's too much. And that's because the value is not broken down. For me, I just put out a story about how I quit smoking. I gave up my cigarettes to start Shakeology because I was like, I can't afford this. So I was like, well, I can't breathe doing Insanity. I might as well quit smoking, and then I can use that money to get Shakeology. So that's what I did. I didn't realize, though, that this was completely replacing a meal. So it's 100 times cheaper than any other thing of me going out to eat, and 10 times cheaper. And that's what we break down to people. Like, this isn't, you're not using $120 a month. It's $120 that you need to take out of your budget because you're replacing a full meal. And as a coach, we get a discount, win-win situation. Like, you can't miss that. So we can talk more about that. So these are all the ingredients that, these are all the ingredients that are in Shakeology. And they have a list of them, what they offer, what they do. It's really just jam-packed. Me, there's been mental clarity, even though I'm a squirrel. There is the energy that's provided. And like, for someone who's been on it 5 days, you have someone on it for 5 days, they stop. You are going to notice a difference. You're going to feel sluggish. You're not going to feel there. It's insane. So you can try that out if you like. Me, I used to be very upset when my bag wasn't here. Now I make sure that I have 2 or 3 bags available because my daughter drinks it every single day now for the last 2 months. These are the wonderful flavors that we have to offer. So we have 2 vegans. We have our tropical strawberry, tropical vegan, chocolate, vanilla. Then we have strawberry, and then we have our greenberry. So Beachbody really has something for everyone, right? Like, there is a product out there, a program that can fit anyone's lifestyle. And that is awesome because we really focus on how this could change someone's life. And we look at their goals, what they like to do, and we sit down and take the time to give them honest feedback on what would work best for them. So, Beachbody, does it work? Well, let's just say yeah, right? You're going to notice tons and tons and tons of results that come in. And it's just, honestly, like I said, I can't tell you what it's done for my life. There's no way to describe it. And the support is honestly one of the most important things that have changed my life too. I was someone that has always felt like I was alone. I don't care to go out and do much because when I started doing personal development, I realized that what we do today is what affects our tomorrow. So what would be the point in me going and watching a 2-hour movie, unless it was with my kids, watching a 2-hour movie, yes, we need fun, when I could be focusing on how I can help someone and inspire their life and make a positive change in their life. And these coaches are amazing. Like, they're a family member. They're a blessing. They're someone that I could call up if I was in a hard time. There's someone that if I was traveling, I could probably find a coach that would welcome me into their home. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. And when you go to a live event, you will understand what I mean. There's just something about it when you are surrounded with that energy, when you're surrounded with the people that change your life. And as far as me or the coach that brought you, like I said, I am here for you guys. Like, this isn't about me helping you guys achieve a goal to get wherever I need to, because I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. Do I have more things that I want to do? Absolutely. It's never going to stop. But I want to see other people with success. I want to see other people come in this and go from feeling like they have no value like I did to being like, I'm getting a message every single day, if not multiple. I'm getting written messages telling me how I've changed people's lives. And I sat and bawled yesterday because of a note that came to my home that said, I can finally have closure now. And I felt that this letter was meant to go to you. That's priceless. That's powerful. Imagine if that was the time that I didn't want to make a post and the post that I put out was about me watching this funny movie. Really, what did it do for me? Did it make me laugh, but did it really make me feel good? I guess I've just learned that through personal development, I see time completely different, and time is valuable. It's priceless. It's something that you can't get back. And that's why I am a coach today, is to provide freedom for my family. My ultimate dream and goal in this, and I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to happen, is to build this business with integrity, with faith, with finding the people that are at rock bottom and helping them, showing them that they matter. And while building this business, I want to speak out to people. So I want people to call me up and be like, hey, Ashton, can you speak at this at our school about bullying? Or can you speak at our school about, or this business for attitude? Or can you come motivational speak and talk about life or time or this or that, goals, setting goals. And I want to be able to go somewhere. I want 1 month, every single month, to have an event set up where my kids are homeschooled. They get to come with me as well as a teacher, because I ain't homeschooling them. Not for me. Nope. I love my kids. I will do that, but I am not a teacher, and that is not what I'm gifted for. They will get taught. And we'll be like, hey, we're going to pack up. We're going to go to California. I have an event. I'm going to be speaking for, a few hours, maybe talk some more to people. I'll probably be there for 4 to 6 hours this day and this day. And then the rest of the time, let's explore the world. Let's see what this place has to offer. I'm going to be able to not to say no to my kids because of money. I'm going to be able to be like, all right, where can we give? What can we do? I do have a sponsor child that we've been sponsoring for probably 6 months, and we're looking into doing more. We write her. She writes us back. And it's something that I never thought that I'd be able to do, because I'm like, I can't even take care of my kids. How can I take care of anyone else? But it's always been placed on my heart to do that. And it's only just that small stuff that's going to continuously add up to be something bigger. So here specifically, what a coach doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a fitness or nutrition expert. You don't have to already be at your goal or nutrition goals. You don't have to be an experienced salesperson, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you go out there and try to sell it, no. That's not what I focus my team on. I focus my team on finding people who need a lifestyle change or who want a lifestyle change, and adding value to them to show them that it is possible. Why? Because I did it. I don't know where I'd be at right now, and I don't want to know. So a coach should be someone who is sharing how people can change their lives and achieve their goals. Someone that's committed to showing that these products work. Like, I didn't even have to leave my home to get this body. I focus on nutrition and I feel amazing. And also improving themselves, developing themselves, learning about that time, learning about management skills, learning about leadership skills, where people are like, what? Like, you are a completely different person in an amazing way. So benefits of being a coach. You get to set your own hours. This is huge. You only need to really grow this business. You only need an hour a day, but I'm going to tell you, what you put in is what you get out. If you can stay focused for 1 hour and really dedicate your time to that, you can do that. If you want to put more in, go ahead. You can focus on it part-time or full-time. It's completely your business. People are like, well, what do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Like, how much time? I'm like, it's what you want out of it. What do you want out of it? Why are you a coach? What makes you a coach? So, and you can build this business online. You can build it in person. Most people do both. And you just have to share your passion and attract people. And you're going to attract people that are similar to you. So I look back, I attract mamas. I attract those usually single mamas that are struggling. And that is okay, because I'm like, dude, I am going to show you a whole new world. Just give me your time. Give me your focus. I believe in you. It's going to hurt. It might suck, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be well worth it. So you set your own time. You decide what your goals are. You decide what your dreams are. You want to run for it? I run. You want to walk? I walk. You want to crawl? I'll crawl. You want to stop? I will stop. I don't push people. I'm not here to be a babysitter. And as much as that sucks to hear, I'm not here to be a babysitter. I will be there standing and waiting till you are ready to say, hey, Ashton, I want to do this. And I'm going to be like, all right, let's go. You show me your effort, I will give you 10 times fold. You want to stop and sit and be like, hey, Ashton, I need to back off. Okay, I'm not going to pounder you. I have other people that want my time, want my focus, and time is valuable. So it's up to you. So as far as rewards, here we go. Success Club trip again. Commissions. I mean, this is really, like I said, when I decided to focus on going all in and really committing and staying focused to the small, daily, consistent task, my paychecks have doubled and they are growing tremendously. I've been in tears over the last month because I was like, I was in my finals this month. I don't know where these people are coming from. Oh yeah, I asked God to provide these people for me. And I was like, now he's telling me go run. And I was like, crap, I'm not going to complain about the people that you're bringing, but okay, I get it. I got to stay focused because I got to help these people. There's bonuses for team growth. There's trips. There's recognition. And also the whole personal development and learning from this. It is powerful what there is that this offers. And like I said, we look at the finances. We look at the physical aspect of it. But when you really get into it, you see your life change in ways that you never thought they could change. You'll notice that you start thinking of things in different ways and you start valuing things in different ways. And that's just the beauty of it because you are working on your personal growth and your personal development. So one thing is that we have amazing support. So if you're like, okay, well, I don't even know what to do as a coach, let me tell you, you're going to be overwhelmed. It is okay. It is okay. Don't be afraid. It's overwhelming. However, we direct you where you need to be. Like, take it at your time. We were at, like, when I joined, we didn't have the training that we did. We didn't have coaches talking about how to do this or how to do that. Now you can search Google, you can search YouTube, and you're going to get tons of information. You're like, oh, what do I do? Is this right? Is that right? Is this right? Oh my gosh, where do I go? What do I do? So we have training tools available for you. We speak with you. I want to know who you are, what your goals are. Then I can help direct you in the way that you need to be directed. There's a quick start guide, and then we're starting to run boot camps, 21-day boot camps. Then we also have our Diamond Dash. And the Diamond Dash is actually really great. It's actually, one is starting on Monday here. So if you're like, hey, this is on my heart, let's do this, I'm going to run, get in this Diamond Dash. It's $22. And the biggest thing is that, I will put in half your price if that's what you want. If you sign up and you want to join, and the thing about this is that the reason that the money is there is not for any of us, any of the leaders to grab the money. All the money goes out. So I had a coach in it last time. We had a bigger group. However, he ended up following the requirements that built his business, built him as a leader, and it really changed his life. Like, it wasn't just like he's like, oh, I got to do this and this and this. Like, he grew and learned, and he walked away with like $350 because all the money that gets put in gets distributed out to those who achieve that. It's just a great thing to do. So communication. So we have breaking news. We have wake-up calls every Monday morning with coaches that will share their tips, give us free tools and tips to help make this as simple and basic for you as possible. Monthly newsletters and coach FAQs. So if there's something, and not to mention social media, right? Like I said, tons of things. Okay. What to expect from our team. Like I said, we have coach trainings. We do weekly team calls. And in fact, this is where our team calls will be. You can see in the bottom here, we got our team calls. We have people on there. Yep, I screenshotted it. And every Wednesdays, we have a team call. We speak about whatever it is. I try to stay as focused as I can in the very beginning, but we kind of mess around in the beginning just to have some fun, get to know how people's weekends were or how their week's going and stuff. And it's just great. So monthly team challenges, that's something that we'll do here and there. So Success Club, you get Success Club. Hey, all right, sweet. You get a gift. Team building events. We got one that's coming up in Utah here, and you can either join or you can earn your way. And it's towards the end of the year. It's a great experience, fun, amazing. Leadership trainings, Facebook team page, and recognition and accountability. Now, I told you kind of how I wanted to talk a little bit about our team and how I run this. I am so focused on running this in an aspect of, like, the points are great and you'll hear about points and you'll hear about hitting this, but I don't like focusing on that. When you really focus on how this can change someone's life, that's when the points will come, because that's what it's about. It's not about points. This is about lives that are being changed. And that's the greatest thing that we get to say, is our paycheck is a direct reflection of how many lives we change. So, all right. So what are the options? This I'm going to let your coach kind of send you off of my blog what your options are as a coach. There's pretty much 3 ways. You can either sign up as a coach, and it's like $39.99, and it will go all over it. Or you can sign up with purchasing a challenge pack, which makes a big, huge sense. Otherwise, we also have our big, huge starter kit, and it will go over all the pricing. It goes over what it has to offer, and that's pretty much what it is. So you have the option to pick your path. I talk to coaches. Like I said, I figure out, what are you in it for? Are you a discount coach? Why do we have discount coaches? Well, because there's people that love Shakeology that have been on it for months and months. It would be a disservice for me not to be like, hey, you can get this cheaper. So you can save $16 a month on this, and any of your future products, 25%. So we have discount coaches, and you may have them, and that's okay. Hobby coaches, they might have a full-time job. They might love what they do, but they're passionate about the products. So when people talk to them about it, they're like, yeah, so they have sales here and there, whatnot, and everything. But they just want kind of an extra income. Maybe it will change somewhere else, but it's, they're not focused on, okay, I want to really do this. Business builder, they're all in. They want a life of freedom. They're sick and tired of a 9-to-5 pay job and someone telling them what their paycheck can be. They want to grow this to help others and also build their own journey in this. So like I said, here are some of the ways that you can join, and I will have whoever brought you ask them, be like, hey, I'm interested, and they can send you that information and talk to you about what's the best route for you as far as signing up. For a coach, you have an ongoing business fee of $15.95. However, most people love Shakeology, so when you're on this, you're saving a total of $30 on Shakeology, and you're paying $15.95. So it really comes out to it that you're, like I said, saving $16 a month. But that $15.95 holds up your websites. You have media promotion and brand awareness, personal websites, your coach online office, product warehouse, customer service, technical support, communications, marketing, training, success on demand. Like, all this stuff is offered to you as a coach for that $15.95. Absolutely crazy, amazing that we have all that. All right. So within the next 24 hours, person who invited you here will follow up with you and ask you these questions. So think about it, okay? What did you like most about the presentation? Does Team Beach, totally, nope, bleep, sorry, Team Beachbody. All right, we got to cut this whole thing and redo it now. Who wants to stay here another hour? Team Beachbody feel like a fit that could help you achieve your goals? So think about these questions. And which option appeals to you, coach or customer? Again, if the coaching isn't really for you, is it something that you're ready to change your life and work on you in the journey? One thing that I do want to let you know is that, like I said, I started at 200 pounds, and I don't think I would be where I'm at today if I didn't join and really learn the aspect, because it pushed me to keep going, because I'm like, I got to stay accountable for everyone else. Like if I'm telling them to work out, I got to be working out. So I was motivated to keep going. And plus people were like, Ashton, you can do this. And I was like, oh, you can do this. So it really went hand in hand. And I see that a lot. Like people that join as a coach, they push harder in their journey because they're there to show people that it can be done. And they learn faster because they're trying to build that knowledge if people ask them questions and everything. So think about it. What can becoming a coach do for you? Ask yourself that. Really, what can it do for you? And I know in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, whatever. This is, I don't know, it might be a pyramid scheme, or it's going to take forever. I'm going to have to put a lot of time in it. No, it's really, you have to look at this, that you can build this from where you are to a 6-figure, if that's what you want, all in helping people and something that's amazing. And if you believe that, that's where you're going to run it to. I've seen it happen. I've seen it done. And I can tell you right now, if I pretty much told people that I started kind of on my journey from 2015, you would be shocked at the growth that has come. Who can you help? So right now you can think about people right now, like just think in your head, be like, how many people would really benefit from becoming healthier or becoming fit? Every single person. Sorry, I'm going to say that. Who could benefit from having an extra $100 a week, $500 a week, or maybe being able to stay at home with their family, maybe retiring their spouse from something because they work opposite shifts and having them do something that they love to do? Who can you help? And what are your goals and dreams? I have a paycheck, or I wrote a check to myself for $1 million for July 15th, 2017. I honestly should go there and up it, because I have no doubt in my mind that this was placed in my life as a gift from God. And what I'm doing is because of Him. That's something that I didn't have in the slide, but I was always a believer, but I didn't go to church until I gained the confidence from this business to go. And I've grown spiritually more than I can even describe. So, all right. So we're going to open this up to questions. And then we'll go from there. I know everyone's been on here long enough. And you're like, okay, I got to find you guys. Hold on. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I'll unmute you guys. Any comments, any statements? No?
I'm looking at my notes to see if I have anything.
Other than my whole little blooper there? Totally bad.
It was perfect.
She's got a lot. She's got 11 bullet points here on her little binder that she has.
Good. So she'll be asking me these questions tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. Well, some of them we did go over already. Okay. I did have a question as far as I know there's so many things you can watch and tune into, but the basics for at least for our team, since you are my coach, we have the Monday morning wake-up call and then the Wednesday night call, which is at this time every week. Is there any other call or meeting that is standard for like what I should work into my schedule?
No. I mean, we do have like our team smash calls. They do them Tuesdays. So maybe like you're like, okay, I can't make a Wednesday for some reason. Hop on Tuesday night calls. That's okay. My upline. And then Team Sparty runs their calls, which is like our Papa line. So Jeff and Jason and everything. I know they're tagging me. They're like, Ashton, call her leadership call. Get on there. I was like, oh, sorry, I'm working on it. But yeah. So as far as I know, right? As far as that goes, no. I mean, it's really what you want. Like you can plug yourself into them. One thing that's great is going back into the recordings of the National Wake Up Call, and you can kind of read the descriptions. So if there's something that's like, all right, this is something I really want to focus on, or this would be great for me to listen to, because like me, I know organization is one of my biggest downfalls. And so I'm working better at building that up. And I'm working with another coach who's helping me with organization. She's like, I love doing that, but I can't just stay pumped up. Like, I can't get my coaches pumped up or not motivational. It's like, I can do that. That's me. I'm like, let's do this. Okay. So we're switching team calls. So next week she'll be on the call, and then I'm running her, or I'm going to be talking on her call that next day on Thursday. So, but yeah.
Cool.
So do you have any questions? Is it Joanna or is it Joe? I know I have a girl that was in one of my fitness classes that's called, she pronounces it Johanny.
It's Johanna, whatever you want to call it.
Awesome.
I go by both. Do you have to do all the programs that are with Beachbody, or can you like pick the ones that you want to do?
This is completely your journey. So if you find a program that's like that you love, do it. And that's what you run on. And the thing is that, like when I talk to other people, there's programs that I promote to other people because it will work for their life. It will work for their, their life situations, their time, something that I think they would love to do. And that's the best part of it. So you don't have to know about all these programs. You don't have to try them. Like one of the top coaches did say, she's like, I'd recommend going in, like, especially like we have the on-demand now, and going in and just even reviewing and looking at like one of the DVD parts and stuff. Just cause she's like, then you can kind of get a feel for it. But what's nice is that we do have this team group, and we have our bigger team group that somebody's been through it, that you can ask any type of questions and get any information from it. So,
I'm not like where I would be in or where I want to be with my fitness, and I don't have a lot of confidence, but I do want to be a coach, but I just don't know like where to start.
So one thing that I'm going to tell you right now is that if you don't have the confidence, then you're in the right place, because becoming a coach is about not having that confidence and stepping outside of your comfort zone, because you're going to have the support there to do it. Then you're going to have this confidence that you're going to be like, oh my goodness, why didn't I have this before? And you're going to be strutting around and be like, all right. One person that I can tell you to even look at too is Coach Tullin. I don't think she pronounces it like that, but it's Tulin. She is she's a plus size coach, and she rocks her YouTube page. She knows exactly what she's offering, and her YouTube like blows up, and she's just full of confidence. And that is okay if you don't have it now and you don't know where to start. It's really about what I'm going to ask you to do is like really place it on your heart. Like, even if you don't have the confidence now, even if you don't know where to start, where do you see your life going? Like, where do you really want to go in your life? Do you want more confidence? Do you want to be, because if you're like, okay, I want more confidence and I want to be healthier and I want to help other people as well, and maybe this is something that could build to a 6-figure income for me. If that's on your heart and that's something that you want to do, then don't focus on where you're at now. You focus at where you want to be. And that, because then your mind starts thinking of that, and you're going to learn and you're going to grow and you're going to be building that. And that's what's going to keep coming to you, and you're going to make huge changes. I was not confident when I first started either. I just knew that I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I made 30-second videos after doing Insanity. I was over 200 pounds. I'm just like, yeah, I just got done with my workout and I'm like dying and sweating and dig deeper. And I mean, I can show you those videos, but I just did them because I put them in my team page, and they're like, oh, keep going. And they're like, oh, you really inspired me. And I was like, I did? Like, I inspired you to do something? And they're like, yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't say that, but I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, how am I inspiring people? Like, I'm overweight. I'm just doing the workout, but I'm inspiring people. And that's what it's about, because you're showing them that you're making a movement in your life and you're changing your life to build it to where you want to be. So
yeah, I like
just think about that tonight. Think about, if you want to remain the same and you're knowing you're like, okay, I'm not confident, so I'm not going to take this step. Where do you think your life's going to be at? And I'm not, maybe this isn't for you and that's fine, but where would your life be at if you don't take a step forward because of not being confident? I can see
same place.
Yep.
Yeah.
So talk with your coach, discuss it, and we'll see what happens from there. If you have any questions, you can feel free to message me too on Facebook, and I'd be happy to talk to you. So,
Thank you.
all righty. Well, I am going to close this out. I'm probably getting yelled at for not being on my other call. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me, talk to your coach, and we'll go from there.
Thanks.
All right. Hope you guys have an amazing night. Bye.
You too.